This is Daily Armenia, CivilNet's daily news digest. Here's what's making headlines in Armenia today. Armenia's ruling Civil Contract Party has decided not to call snap parliamentary elections. Party Deputy Chairman and Economy Minister Gevorg Papoyan told reporters in Yerevan yesterday after a party meeting. Different ideas were exchanged at the meeting, including about possible snap elections. We decided that the people gave political forces a mandate for 5 years, and we must continue our work. When the 5 years are up, we'll naturally go to regular elections, Papoyan said. He added that Prime Minister Nikol Pashinyan, who chairs the party, noted during the meeting that while there have been various proposals to hold early elections, they lack sufficient justification. Pashinyan himself told journalists after yesterday's cabinet meeting that such calls exist but their reasoning still needs to be examined. Under Armenian law, parliamentary elections are held no more than 5 years apart. The most recent vote took place in June 2021 when Civil Contract won 54% of the popular vote. That election was itself a snap poll, moved up from the originally scheduled December 2023 amid the political crisis, following Armenia's defeat in the 2020 war after Pashinyan resigned and sought a renewed mandate. Armenia's government this week intensified efforts to encourage refugees from Nagorno-Karabakh to apply for citizenship, following Prime Minister Pashinyan's recent address to the nation outlining his vision for their future in Armenia. Our understanding of the future of forced migrants from Karabakh is this: with our support and that of the international community, they must settle in Armenia and live, create, and succeed here as full citizens, Pashinyan said earlier this week. Mobile units have been deployed across the country, allowing displaced Karabakh Armenians to submit citizenship applications directly on the street. The government also announced today that application fees will not apply to them. While the current fee is just about $2, it is set to rise sharply to around $125 starting January 1st. Although many refugees are hesitant to apply, out of concern that acquiring citizenship could affect their refugee status and benefits, authorities stress that citizenship is required to access state housing subsidy programs. Last month, the Interior Ministry reported that more than 9,000 people displaced by the September 2023 Azerbaijani offensive had already been granted citizenship. Armenia does not legally recognize former residents of Karabakh as its own nationals, a stance upheld by a court ruling last November in Kassel, Germany, which declared Karabakh Armenians stateless persons and confirmed they cannot return to the region due to the risk of persecution from Azerbaijan. Armenia is in an active phase of negotiations with the European Union on visa liberalization, the Interior Ministry said today, summarizing work completed over the past year. Interior Minister Arpine Sargsyan, who leads the Armenian side in the talks, is coordinating efforts with the framework of the EU-Armenia visa liberalization process. In an interview with CivilNet earlier this week, Vasilis Maragos, the EU ambassador to Armenia, praised the country's progress, adding that Armenia is the bloc's only partner that achieved such developments in the past 5 years. Discussions between Armenian and EU officials have so far focused on document security, border management, migration and asylum policy, as well as measures against organized crime and corruption. The European Commission has prepared a summary of the action plan, which is currently being coordinated with EU member states. Once finalized, it will be officially transferred to Armenia by the end of this year. Currently, while nationals of EU countries enjoy a visa-free regime with Armenia, Armenian citizens must apply in advance for a visa to enter the EU. The process can be costly, applications are often denied, and it takes considerable time, making spontaneous travel impossible and complicating the planning of trips that was scheduled in advance. Shora is a regular man from southern Armenia, living just steps away from the Iranian border. He grows a garden with fruits of remarkable taste, and despite a long career in Russia, he chose to return to his childhood home in Mehri. Read his story in our feature at the link in the description. And as always, please follow CivilNet for the latest news and independent reporting from our contributors on the ground here in Armenia.